Before we jump into today's show, I just wanted to let you know that I have got a brand new 3-part audio series available to download right now. If you head over to donnadeube.com/3-part audio, that's all one word, no spaces, you can download your How to Build Your Authority with Podcasting audio series. This is going to address guesting and hosting. So if you're interested in either of those and you want to know how to build your authority, head over to donnadeube.com/3-part audio. The link will be in the show notes. You're listening to the Mindset and Action Podcast, the place to be to grow and streamline your business. I'm your host, Donna Dube. Let's jump into the show. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody, for this mini Mindset Monday. I have a special guest with me today. She's joining me on Thursday, so you can get to find out all about her and her expertise then. But Donna, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. So happy to be here, Donna.
Brilliant. So tell everybody just a little bit about what you do. Obviously, they're going to come back on Thursday for all of the details, but just a brief overview for them.
Sure.
So we know who we're talking to.
Yes. So I help online entrepreneurs grow their business without having to work 24/7. And we do that by helping them leverage 3 things: their time, their talent, and their tactics.
I love that. Lovely, lovely, lovely and concise as well, which I also love. So in our mini Mindset Mondays, what we are sort of trying to do is just to make business relatable to everybody, in the fact that we all have blocks that get in our way and get us stuck, and we're not alone in that. And it's really about sort of showing people that what they think is their block and nobody else deals with it. We all deal with these things. So can you let us know what's the sort of biggest mindset block you've come up against in your business so far, and how did you kind of navigate that?
Yes, good question. So I would say for me, the biggest mindset block was really believing and acting as if I am the CEO of my business, as if I am the business leader. So like many of you, we start our business by ourselves, and I was doing everything, right? Whatever little task needed to be done, I was there chipping away at it. Working too many hours, definitely. And, on the track for burnout, even though I didn't see it at the time. And so it was really my family who said, listen, something's got to stop here because we've lost you. Like, you're physically in the house, but we don't spend any time with you anymore, right? So it was a real wake-up call to say, I need to be able to do things different. I wanted to grow my business further, but the way I was doing it wasn't going to work. And so I really had to take a step back and say, how can I still be productive and still, do what I need to do, get clients in the door without being in the weeds continuously? And how can I start thinking and acting like the CEO of my business so that I'm making strategic decisions, right? I'm not just saying yes to everything that flies my way. I'm not just opening my laptop and, responding to everyone else's demands. No, I have priorities that I need to do in my business this week and next week, and really allowing myself the time that I spend on my business to focus on what those priorities are. That doesn't mean I ignore customer requests or, don't go to my inbox for 3 weeks, right? No, but there's a set time, right? So just to give you an example, I used to open up my laptop in the morning, go straight to the inbox. And of course it's flooded, and I'd read through every email, and then ding, ding, my phone would be dinging something on Slack. Oh, let's check Facebook, ding, ding. And right. But before you know it, it's 2 p.m. And I haven't done any of the things that I had planned, right?
Yep.
So when we flip that upside down, sure, I go in my inbox now in the morning. I'm looking for emergent things that need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
The other things that Sally Sue is having a sale and this one's going to do this, those are great things. I'll look at them later, but they don't need my attention right now. Right?
Yeah.
So if there's nothing needs my attention, now I need to eat the frog first, as they say, and I need to do that thing that's the priority in my day. And the reason I do it early in the day is because life happens. right? I might get tired. I might decide that's it for today. Something might go wrong that I need to attend to. And so blocking that time really early to say, this is my priority. I need to get on it and start it. Then I can go back to other people's demands.
I love that. That is so good. And what I'm sort of curious to know your thoughts on is I like literally you could have described exactly what I used to do with my emails, and I did exactly the same thing. It was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like to work with their circadian rhythm, or some people just work better during the mornings and some work better later in the day. I love what you said there about doing that priority task thing first,
Mm-hmm.
because life happens. The kids get sick, you get a phone call from the school, and all of a sudden your day has gone up the swanny, and
Yeah.
all sorts of things like that. Things like that will happen. So getting it done first gets it out the way, gets it done, gets you moving forward. But what if you're somebody who's just like, actually, my really creative, my time where I can be really mentally on is actually 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That's when
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that. In the morning, I'm just kind of a bit sluggish. I'm a bit like, I need the light stuff. I can't handle that.
Yeah.
Can we still kind of get the same effect by doing it the other way around?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it's knowing you as a person and how you work best.
Mm,
Right. And so for me, it might be morning first thing. That's my time. If it's 4 p.m. for you when you're, the most creative, and that's when you like doing those harder tasks that take more mental energy, that's fine. Block it off.
mm,
Right.
yeah.
So you can't have that and school pickup at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not going to work, right?
No.
But if that's a time you can block off and you can not be interrupted and focus and really get into that groove, there's nothing wrong with that. And then put those lighter things for the morning time when you need to take your time and get into things.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. It's just that you have to figure out what works for you and follow that
Yeah.
routine.
And plan as well, because obviously what you're saying there is great. If you need to get it done in the morning, because if something goes wrong in the afternoon, it's fine, you've done it. But if you plan ahead and you make sure that you're not leaving everything to the last minute, which I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us can be guilty of, certainly putting my hand up, then you've got the time. So, for example, today, as we're recording, I had another recording before you for another episode of my podcast. And the lady who was going to come on has had a malfunction with her laptop. And now she couldn't do the recording with me. So now I'm a
Mm,
recording down, and I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get her back on, because obviously we've got to schedule calendars again, and she's got to wait until her laptop's fixed. But I've planned ahead so I can shift our episode into her spot if I'm not going to get hurt. So it's all about having that kind of foresight to like not put things on the list for the day of the deadline, but having it a few days. So
yes.
if you are in the afternoon and this is your productive time, you're ready to go, and then you get a call, Billy was at football, he's twisted his ankle, he needs you to come and pick him up early from
Mm-hmm.
football practice, you can go and do that, and you can do that thing tomorrow in your
Yeah.
priority time because you've planned ahead for mishaps happening. So I love that.
Yes.
And going back to your mindset block of being the CEO, I think that is a mentality that a lot of us struggle with. We kind of come out of corporate or, from day jobs in retail or whatever. And we're so used to having that employee mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
taking that step into, I'm the boss here. I'm not the employee, and acting like the boss rather than the employee is one that I think a lot of us struggle with. So thank you so much for sharing that and kind of sharing how you manage to overcome that and make changes in your business to work around it, because I think it's one that a lot of us, especially in the early days of our business, and some even longer, I remember hearing Amy Porterfield talk on her podcast about how she had to step into the visionary role, and that was so much later on when she had Chloe who worked with her as her full-time employee. It was just the two of them in the business, but she was always kind of defaulting to doing everything, and Chloe had to sort of say to her, you need to be the visionary here and you need to take
Mm-hmm.
on that role. And that was something that was difficult for her from coming from corporate. So I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with. So I really appreciate you sharing.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So we're going to be back on Thursday when we're going to be talking about, our businesses, how we can sort of prioritize things, what is important in our business. We're going to lean into this eating the frog and schedules and all of that jazz. Donna has some fantastic tidbits in there and also a brilliant download that you can get. So make sure you come back on Thursday to listen to that one. All of Donna's links will be in the show notes of this episode as well. So you can head down there and go and connect with her, find her website, and we'll be back with you on Thursday. So we'll see you then. Bye for now. Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.